Okay, so my view on this year's union budget, so far as the infrastructure sector is concerned, let me stick to my area of competence, is that it presses two very critical buttons: rural infrastructure and the PPP revival process. On rural infrastructure, it is a truly transformational budget. We have not seen this level of outlays across the entire basket of rural infrastructure encompassing irrigation, watershed management, rural electrification, rural roads and rural market towns, 100 cluster towns as he called them, the mandi towns. So this full package is going to provide a significant boost to rural India, which has been under distress for quite some time, both in terms of monsoons, harvests, more importantly about the significant lack of infrastructure across decades in rural India. So this thrust of this year's budget on rural infrastructure, as I said, is certainly transformational. The other transformation or the other big button that is pushed is the revival of the PPP process. As we know, PPP had actually sunk to fairly low levels for a variety of reasons. He has pressed actually 5 buttons which should see a positivism return to public-private partnerships. The first is this the disputes resolution. I have that listed with me. The Public Utilities Resolution of Disputes Bill, which will significantly address the concerns of the Indian construction sector, particularly in terms of the huge amount of liquidity that is stuck in governmental projects. Secondly, the second thing on PPP is that he has accepted a principle that CII and the membership, including people like me and other colleagues in Infra, have been shouting for a long time, which is to accept the fact that PPP projects will come up for renegotiation. So he has now in this budget outlined that he will be publishing guidelines for renegotiation of PPP contracts. 3, he is creating a new architecture for credit rating of PPP projects, and this should make the access to long-term capital and the cost of such capital cheaper in the future for private projects in infrastructure. The 4th button he's pressed is that he's breathed life into these 2 financial instruments called REITs, Real Estate Investment Trusts for the real estate sector, and InvITs, which is the investment trusts for the infrastructure sector. He has clarified that the dividend distribution will not be taxed in the hands of the recipients, and that clears the way for these REITs and invests to actually now make an impact in financial markets. And finally, he has made the new genre of asset reconstruction companies more friendly by clarifying again that they can be 100% held by the sponsors. So broadly, if I were to sum up, he had a challenge, and now remember, this has come on the top of a very large road budget, 97,000 crores on the road budget, over and above 1.2 lakh crores that came from the railway budget. So if you see the government system in its entirety, about 2.18 lakh crores is being pushed into roads and railways. Over and above that is this rather large outlay in rural infrastructure. So all of this actually makes it a rather important and relevant budget to pump prime the Indian economy through the route of infrastructure revival, including the 5 specific measures on PPP revival. Let me stop. Okay.